Hello, health heads. Welcome and thank you for checking in to this dose of the Healthcare Uprising. I am your producer in the back, Jeremy Carr, here with your host in the front row, Heather Pierce. So, what are we doing today, Heather?
Well, today we have a Human Stories episode. This one is with my sister, Megan Marshall. She's here to talk openly and very bravely about her decades-long battles. Yes, I'm saying that plural.
Yeah, it's quite the story.
With on-again, off-again addiction, fully uncovering and facing the root cause of her addiction. And most importantly, finally finding a program that has given her the pathway to real recovery, acceptance, and a healthier way forward. She is a rock star devoted mom to a 17-year-old special needs child, Liam, who is also my nephew, who I lovingly call my Shmee, and a nurturer of many, many, many things. So if you know Megan, you know that she is she's like the mom. So, yeah.
But you took quite the road to get there. So
she sure did.
Without further ado, let's get into our conversation with Megan Marshall.
Hi, and welcome to the Healthcare Uprising podcast. Today we have Megan Marshall with us, who happens to be my sister. Megan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about Megan's journey with addiction and recovery, currently in recovery. So we're going to celebrate a little bit today too. So so it's a little different having having my own sister on the show, but I think this is really it's a story, I think, and an experience that will resonate with a lot of people. Whether you've gone through addiction and recovery yourself personally, and I think we've all known somebody who has. So anyway, I'm gonna buckle up.
All right.
I'm buckling up for this one because even I'm gonna probably hear some things for the first time. So yeah. So with that, let's start at the beginning. So really just start where you want, honestly. Whatever you want to share that kind of has brought you to this point, and maybe you can tell us how far along in recovery you are, and then really just kind of what's your story.
Okay. Well, I am recovering from alcohol addiction. I do have some drug addiction in my past. So we'll talk about that. But next Wednesday is 5 months sober for me. I'm very excited about that because I haven't gotten this far, but I'm
Cowbell.
I know, right?
We're gonna ring that a couple times today.
Yeah.
5
The
months.
6 month mark is like my big first milestone that I'm looking forward to. But
cool.
Yeah, so it's been a roller coaster of a ride. I've been up and down with my sobriety and recovery and then relapse and so on. So yeah, I mean, it goes way back. There's a lot of underlying issues that I've learned about just doing therapy and the groups, and um, there's some childhood trauma. I was diagnosed with PTSD about 2 years ago. There's a lot of stuff there from dad. He's a part of that. As I don't know if everybody knows, but our father was a hardcore alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And my understanding is he was from the age of 19. So growing up in that environment was rough. And he had different feelings about me than he did you. And I've even talked to mom about it. And she's like, yeah, he treated you differently. So there was a lot of I don't know, it's just he kind of talked down to me and seemed to be constantly disappointed in me. And I could never measure up where, in my eyes, the light was shining on you, Heather. Um, I think you were a lot more like him. And
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it
so
definitely was.
he could, that resonated with him. So where I was very different, and I don't know if he just didn't know how to deal with me or what, but um, I was bullied for years growing up in school, and I I feel like I got a lot of that from dad as well, in a different way, but I felt like that, and that's no fun when you feel like you can never measure up. You constantly feel so black sheepish. But it was what it was, and I think that stuck with me for years, even till he died. We had a rough relationship. There was a lot of me not talking to him at times. There were times when I would talk to him and he was really drunk, and he would talk to me as if I was mom. He sometimes called me her name and when he was angry. So I feel like a lot of the issues that him and mom had,
It
he
was like
put on me.
projecting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And he died in 2007, just for context,
right,
everyone, because so it's been a while. Yeah.
right. And I was literally, that was a very, very tragic night because it was Liam, who's my son, your nephew. His father's the one who found him. And I was on the phone with him about 2 minutes before he dropped dead of a massive heart attack.
Yeah.
So that that was a night.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember all that like it was yesterday.
Yeah. And there was a lot of very bizarre emotions that came with that because at that time, dad and I were good. I was
Hmm.
pregnant with his first grandchild. He was excited about that. Uh,
You were
but
helping him
obviously,
a lot too. That
I
you were
was at
closer
the end,
by
I was
and yep.
trying to get him to the doctor, trying to get him into rehab, just doing all the things. And
Yeah.
um,
You
one
definitely
of
needed
the
that support. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last thing he said to me was, "Thank you, Megan." And that's those are the last words I had with him, and he was dead, like right after, literally right after that. So,
Which must feel
um,
kind of ironic, right? Because given
very,
the nature of your relationship and then
After all
yeah,
that, no.
yeah.
yeah.
And with me, I don't know if you ever felt this way, Heather, but he didn't know how to show love necessarily. I feel like
Oh, no, no, he didn't.
he
Yes,
bought love.
yeah,
Um,
that's exactly how I would explain it to people.
I
Like
didn't,
his way of showing was by buying you things
yeah,
or giving you
buying
money.
cars. There
Oh,
was
yeah.
that one period I didn't talk to him for a year and a half because of the way he had treated me. And the day we talked, he said, "Meet me at the car dealership," and bought me a car.
Yeah.
And that's just what he did.
Yeah.
And
I still refer
um,
to him jokingly as Daddy Warbucks.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it
So
was just kind of like that.
it was
So
like that. And
Money was
I
his
think,
love language.
it was,
yeah,
or
very much so. But
yeah,
that doesn't feel good.
which
You
isn't
know, it
healthy.
No, that's not a good love
no,
language.
No.
it doesn't feel good. And you almost feel like, is this all I'm worth to you? Uh, you buy me a car, you don't care about what's actually going on with me. Um,
Well,
but
and,
it
and towards
was,
the end, he was so pickled.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
And he
I,
had left, he had gotten laid off from work and he was doing consulting work and then he wasn't doing anything and then he was retired and he was literally drinking like every single
it
day.
was
Like,
so
I mean,
bad.
it was really bad. So I don't even know, like it became like such a transactional thing.
Yeah.
Just make sure dad's still breathing, you know? Like, literally.
Yeah.
I remember going to his house and like putting a mirror up to his face when he was passed out on the couch when Jake and I would go do yard work. And like, yeah, like we weren't having meaningful conversations in that last 6 months.
Um,
Yeah.
but leading up to that, uh, in my, I don't know, mid 20s, I all of a sudden got involved in nightlife. Like I always say, I was a Scottsdale rat. And with that became a lot of popularity. It's like something I had never experienced in my life. all of a sudden I was this girl that, got into all the big nightclubs for free, knew the hostesses, hanging out with celebrities in VIP boxes. Then I was dating someone, and he is kind of how I got introduced to cocaine. And, it started out as just a weekend fun thing that we did. And it turned into an everyday thing. And I literally was down to 97 pounds.
I
97.
remember that very
I,
clearly.
yes, I
Wow, you are not a
looked,
short woman either.
no,
She was
no.
so skinny.
And
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
was almost less than a size zero. I actually, one
Wow.
of my friends lent me her clothes, who is just naturally tiny like that. She lent me some clothes because none of my pants fit. It was terrible. But I got involved with a lot of people. I was running around like dealers, like one of the top dealers in Scottsdale. I was driving him around, taking boxes of cash. It would be like $9,000 and depositing it in his bank account, because at $10,000, you have the government looking at
Mm.
those deposits. So there was a whole, it was a thing. And found myself down in Tucson with a guy doing a pickup. He was I forget the term, but uh he was restocking his supply, and we're riding around in this car with two guys that had guns in the front seat. And I was terrified. Like, how did I get here? But that kind of life went on. I was somehow got involved in the escort business, not as an escort, but I was managing them. So it was almost like being a madam working in one
I
of
remember
those.
when you would send me, you would tell me things.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
holy shit, what is going
I
on?
have seen
I
and
was worried.
heard some things, but I
But you
was
were open
making
with
it.
me about it though.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
there was a whole lot of drugs in that scene, obviously. So this went on for years. I literally, like, I went to an ENT when I was having a different health problem. And I was like, I think I have a deviated septum. And he's like, honey, you don't have a septum. Like, I physically, it was so bad. It physically messed me up. And but I was not only addicted to the cocaine, I was addicted to the popularity, being that girl. The cops knew me out front of the nightclubs, it was crazy.
You
So
took
I
me
was
to a
at,
few nightclubs and I was like, whoa,
yeah,
this is crazy.
yeah. I was living the VIP life,
Yeah.
free
You were like a
drink.
whole new character in your life.
Yeah. And that's what it was. I was a
Yeah.
character. Like, um, it was it was something that was so polar opposite to how I grew up, and being bullied and having the feelings I did, that came from our home life. And um, you and I didn't get along, and it was because you were popular. You were the popular one. Some of your friends were bullying me. It was, and you and I didn't get along. We were never close,
Not,
and it
no,
it's
middle school, high school, it was like,
yeah, it was bad. And
I
I
still have
saw
scars from things you threw at me, for the record.
the elastic belts with the
Yes, with the
infinity.
metal
Yes, I
buckle. And I
know.
think there was
They
a
make
glass
good
ashtray in there
slingshots.
somewhere too
nice.
that got thrown at
Yeah.
me like a frisbee.
Aren't sisters fun?
Yeah.
Teenage
Oh,
girls are so much
we were
fun.
brutal. So
I'm
there
I'm
was
over it now. I harbor no
yeah.
resentment towards you.
Thanks.
I can laugh
No,
about it now. It's actually kind of funny.
I know. I had a good throwing arm, I think, back then. So but but yeah, there was just so much stuff that just sits in you and sits in you, and it just builds up and builds up. And then when you're introduced to something that makes you feel so different, and people are looking at you so differently, and it was like being a character, like, who is this girl? Like, this is not me. It just wasn't what I did, but Like it wasn't who I was, but it was fun. And I'll admit, I had a lot of fun back then, but it certainly wasn't healthy fun. It made me come out of my shell because growing up, I was terribly shy to the point it was detrimental. But a lot of that came from being bullied. Um,
And you didn't go back to being shy. Like that
no,
was, if we can say there's
that's a
one
good thing.
silver lining, right? Is that
There's your
you've
silver lining. That's
you've
one of
remained
the good
very
things.
outgoing and extrovert. It's almost like you were meant to be that way,
Yeah.
ultimately. It
Well,
just
I
kind of
believe everybody's journey brings them to where they are. You become where your journey has taken you. So, yeah, I went through all that and yeah, it was horrible, but it also, molded who I am today, which I'm outgoing in a healthy way. And,
mhm.
um, I've done some really cool things in public speaking and had a lot of opportunities, been on the news because of Liam and just
Do you want to
advocating.
share a little
Yeah.
bit about Liam too, just so everyone kind of knows too? I feel like that's an important part of this as
Oh
well.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's, the second chapter of
my
my
Shmee. I call him
your
Shmee.
Shmee.
My Shmee.
Yeah. So Liam, I was pregnant with Liam uh in 2007 and had a completely normal pregnancy. Um, it was I was so happy to be pregnant. I felt amazing. I didn't have a single stretch mark, which I'm so proud of to this day. Um, and everything was normal. Everything seemed normal, when Liam was born and everything was normal. His APGAR test, everything was good. Uh, but it was around 6 months old. He wasn't using his right hand. I didn't know any better. I was a single mom at that point. It was just me. You and Jake were the ones
Hmm.
that were helping me.
Yeah, we lived right down the street, and then I think mom visited, and she noticed
Yeah,
something.
mom would come out and stay and help me
Yeah,
out.
she was
And
living in
she's
New
the one who
Jersey.
actually
Yeah,
noticed that he wasn't using his
that's
right.
right. Yeah.
And I was like, he's fine. He's going to be a lefty, but whatever. I didn't know any better. So it ended up turning out that Liam had suffered a stroke, most likely in utero. He was eventually diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and it led into epilepsy, and it led into autism, and the diagnoses keep coming as he's older.
And
He's
changing.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
changing.
Still changing. Yeah. There's a lot. It's a lot of different stuff now.
That's
But
another episode.
That's a whole nother
Like
yeah,
episode.
I'm
That's
being very serious.
literally a whole
yeah,
nother episode. Yeah.
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 Yeah, we'll
But
cover that in more detail. So, but good to like kind of
yeah,
have the context though. Yeah.
but it's a
Um,
stressful life. It's all I knew. I've had a lot of opportunities because of him, but it's also the stress and being overwhelmed and I'm really good at managing stuff till I'm not. And I have this terrible detriment of not being able to ask for help. That to me, so I've carried shame all my life. That's one of the things that I've discovered in therapy. The overwhelming feeling of shame, whether it started when I was young and it just carried through, but it was in different ways. And that's what made it so hard to ask for help because here I am, this mom that everybody put on a pedestal, like, oh, you're amazing. And oh, look at all this stuff you're doing. And I don't know how you do it. And you work full time. He has therapies. He has this, he has that. And you do it. And what people didn't know is like, yeah, I'm doing it. But here I am drinking at home every night. And I didn't think it was a problem because I was still functioning. I guess I turned into that functioning alcoholic. Looking back now, I'm aware of that and have discovered that, yeah, I thought this alcohol problem was just in the past 3 years or so, but it wasn't.
Can I ask you a
It's
quick
been
question,
there.
Megan?
Yeah.
Just to frame some of this too, because you had
Right.
gotten support with therapy and counseling through Taros Health. It was and obviously, and you can talk about some of the other facilities
Yeah.
and supports that you've had. But currently, you're with the Arizona Women's Recovery Center. Is that where you felt like you have been just you've been I don't know, figuring this all out, or has it been
Healed.
prior to that?
Yes.
Or does like is this pretty recent? I'm just like I don't know
It
the
is
answer to
pretty
that.
recent.
Okay.
So my latest sobriety date was April 2nd, and that was a Wednesday. And the following Monday, I started with this program.
Okay.
And from day one, it was different. And I'm in an outpatient program. It wasn't residential. I did residential. I did my 30 days. I was doing outpatient SOP, IOP, therapy, like all the P's. I was doing it. Um,
Everything out there
but
that was available, you tried it, and it ultimately
well,
it didn't.
and I was also forced to do it, which is that's
Right.
another thing that plays into success. Um, but I got to this program. It was recommended by my case manager at Taros. She was at this last relapse. She's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with you. We got to just put you back in rehab. And I'm like, what? Just so I go over all the things I've learned? I already know the coping skills. I already know all the things. Something isn't working, like something
And how long
in
had you
me.
been going through different recovery programs at this point, Megan,
It had been
that weren't
probably two
working?
years or so.
Was it 2 years? Okay, 2 years.
Maybe more. I'm, it's kind of a blur. Dave
I
would
think
Like
probably
a
be the better
revolving
one to
door
ask
sort of
that.
thing.
it was up and down, right? Like you would be
Yeah,
great for a while, and then you wouldn't be, and then you'd try something else, and then that stopped working, and so it was kind of yeah, it was an up and down for a while.
yeah,
And I saw you in some pretty bad places.
yeah.
So
Um,
yeah.
oh, well, my first stay was at Copper Springs, which is for mental health. It wasn't necessarily for drug, it was for mental health because I was having these manic episodes where I'd be crying, bawling, and then I'm laughing, and it was just literally like this. And um, what people, I don't know if you guys know or don't know, but I was drinking then, and that was feeding that, but I never said that out
Oh, I
loud.
figured you were. I
Yeah,
on a yeah, I didn't think you were sober.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it got to the point, yeah, it was that was happening. So they put me there. I think I was there for 4 or 5 days, and that was interesting. And they diagnosed me as being bipolar in there. So they changed up my meds, and then everything was perfect, whatever. And it wasn't, but I came out of that, everything was okay. And then things went back to not being okay, but it was alcohol. And Dave, who is my partner,
Oh, we haven't even
um,
mentioned Dave yet.
we haven't mentioned Dave, just Dave.
Dave.
Dave and I have been together for 9.5 years, and we live together. So he's seen the best and the worst of everything. Um,
And I talked to Dave a lot through
yes,
all of
he
this, sometimes
yes,
daily.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I know.
Dave and I are
um,
besties.
yeah. Well, I like to refer to Dave as the accountability police.
Yes.
So
Oh, for sure.
Dave, he was the one who made the 10,000 pound phone call to DCS, which is the Department of Children's Services,
Mhm.
or CFS, whatever they go by different names. Um,
Yes.
Basically, these are the people that get involved, and they came in and removed Liam from the home. They put him in a group home. I was ordered because at this point everything got into the courts.
And
I
this was
was
what earlier this year, Megan? I want to say like
Oh no, this was
February.
round two.
Wait,
This
was this
year was
okay?
round two.
Oh,
This
you're
was
talking
like
about the
two
first
years
time.
ago.
Okay. Sorry. We were talking
Yeah,
about the first time. Okay.
I'm kind of going over the history of it.
I know. Sorry.
So
We've kind of gone back and forth a little bit. So we're kind of
yeah,
jumping around a
sorry.
bit. So
But
yeah,
this is like 2.5, 3 years ago,
the
whatever.
first time. Yes.
Yeah, Liam got removed from the home.
Mm.
Um, I was ordered to participate in SOP or SOP classes, and that took place at Taros.
What does that stand
And
for? SOP?
um, is it standard outpatient?
We'll go with it.
Uh, Gosh, I don't even know.
Sounds about
There's
right.
so many acronyms and all
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Um, so I did that. It was outpatient in a women's group. It was fine. We met twice a week. Um, I was doing okay then. And then we were able to get, Liam ended up being in a group home. I think it was, what, 2 months, 3 months?
And it was an adult group home. So it really
Yes,
wasn't the right place for
adult
him or
medical.
them. Yeah, that
Yes,
was
because Liam needed to be in a medical home because of all his stuff, medical
right.
diagnoses.
And
So it
last
was
minute like that, there's not a lot of options. So
no, there's
yeah,
not.
but
So that happened. I was doing good. Liam finally comes home. Everything's all hunky dory. The court eventually closes my case. DCS gone out of the picture, right? Then I relapse, and I it's kind of it gets jumbled in my head, but I relapsed. Um, I think I started back in SOP, or I think this is when Dave had to make the second phone call to DCS. And he called and told them what was happening. They came in. Um, I was ordered to do IOP classes. And or no, I was put back in SOP class, the same one I was in.
through
So,
Taros.
yes.
Yep.
And ended up, I was doing okay. I
That would have
was
been
having,
last fall, right?
yes,
So almost a year ago. Yeah.
yeah. I was having to do the UAs, which are urine analysis tests, random multiple times a week. And I was doing fine. And then I wasn't doing fine. I relapsed again. And at that point, that's when DCS took Liam again. And I was in IOP, which is intensive outpatient. Uh, it's intensive outpatient treatment. I don't know. I don't know what the P stands for.
And that was
I
like
forget.
earlier this year,
Yes,
2025.
that
I don't
was
remember. I
earlier
think
this
that was
year.
like the February-ish time frame. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of,
Yeah.
in and out of stuff. It's very, but this has been over the past 3 years. This was the
Right.
second time Liam got removed from the home, and he was put in a horrible group
Oh,
home.
so bad.
I wasn't allowed, um, I wasn't allowed to see him for talk to him for a bit, and then they finally allowed that, and but it had to be supervised. Dave was able to remove Liam from the home to take him out, but then my UAs came out positive, and it it just then the court put on a where it had to be supervised. They were trying to make it where I could only see him 4 hours a week, and he was in this horrible place that just, it was bad.
It was not good.
Um, no, and so we were fighting to get him out, and then
Mhm.
that's when the court uh, ordered me to go. They gave me the choice. He was still in the group home. They gave me they basically said, you need to do residential treatment, 30-day residential,
Mhm.
which I was so upset about. Horrible. Didn't want to do it, but it was either that or I think give up custody. I think it got that bad where they were talking about that kind of stuff. Horrible.
Mhm.
It was just bad. Like, how could I?
So you were forced to go into that.
I
That was
was
the only
forced.
option.
I
Yeah.
mean, it
And
was
that's
my
when,
decision, but
right.
I had to make that decision.
And he came here.
So,
He stayed with me for a little while. Yep.
yeah, Liam was staying with you. You guys were taking him every weekend.
Yeah.
Just it was
While you
bad.
were
And
there. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I couldn't talk to anybody for the first 2 weeks.
Mm.
You couldn't be on the phone. Um, what I know now that wasn't such a great place either. I had nothing to compare it to. It was my first time in rehab. So um, I
And this
got
is one of
out.
those nice luxury rehabs. Let's be clear about that because it's like the access paid for rehab,
Yeah, and before that,
access
I
meaning
ended up
Medicaid.
in CBI, which is Community Bridges, whatever,
Oh,
and
yeah.
CBI Psych, which, oh my goodness, this place, it was scary. It was homeless people, people that had all kinds of like serious mental health issues, and I saw some things in there, fights, like it was horrible. It was so bad. And um, I think I was only there for 3 nights. There's no beds. You're in one big room with everybody on a recliner. That's it. Um,
Look at Jeremy's face.
I know it was so
I
bad.
had a face like that too when I heard about it too. So I was
Yeah,
like, ugh.
I was with
That's
the
prison. That's not a recovery
it.
place. That's a
No,
like a
it wasn't
hardcore prison.
recovery. It was just they don't
You're not going to
do
recover from
anything.
anything in an environment like that.
No, and it wasn't. It was like you saw the psych doctor who you'd see them for like 5 minutes, and they were basically the ones who had to determine when you could be released. And it was so bad. And I never want to be put in a place like that again. I never want to be put anywhere. So
I mean, it's
went
the
from there.
forced into it that is a big part of why it doesn't work too, right? Like
Yeah, Dave had to put
if you don't want the recovery, you're not going to recover. Like that's a big part of the addiction
well, that's
process.
when Dave called the cops on me because
Mm.
I was drunk and having
This is
what,
after you got back from that 30-day
yeah, and I had like, it was like a
place.
psychotic episode. It was so bad. Um, there were knives involved, there were threats made. I got taken away by the police, not arrested, but the police took me. The officer was super nice. Um, but that was my first time riding in a back of a police car, like to be taken somewhere, not because I was riding to the hospital for dad or, whatever. Anytime I'd been in a police car, it was not for a bad thing. It was actually for a good thing. So, um, but anyway, so the cops took me away, put me in that place, got out, still drinking. And that's when there was this big old meeting that was so super fun. And everybody, it was like tearing me up and I was bawling. But that's when it was decided that I needed,
I was on that call.
um, yeah,
Oh,
that's when they put me in the inpatient for 30 days. Came out of that, relapsed again, literally the day after I got
yeah,
out.
that's right.
Um,
Dave called me.
so it's brutal
It
because
sounds to me like you were just repeating the cycle of trauma, though.
oh,
That's gonna make it
absolutely.
worse instead of better.
Well, this is what I know now. Being in the program I'm at now, I'm going to call it the AWRC.
Arizona Women's Recovery Center.
Yes,
Yeah.
they actually do something. They are a model that I wish every place would adapt. But they do addiction treatment, but they also do mental health treatment. I mean, like intensive.
Like
So
real mental health
because
treatment.
addiction doesn't come out of the blue. It comes because addiction is the band-aid. Addiction is a symptom. I sound like the therapist I've been working with, but addiction is a symptom of something deeper. And at no point in all the things that led me up to me getting in this program did the mental health part ever get addressed.
Which
So
is
that's
really
why
crazy to me. That's
it
just
is.
how does that get missed?
Yeah.
Or just overlooked or literally
Yeah.
chosen not to deal with. Not
Because
from you,
literally,
from the
no,
clinic.
it's
Yeah.
every single program I had done over the past like 2.5 years was repeating the same stuff, teaching you the same stuff, doing the same thing. You're never actually getting treatment, like the
Mm.
treatment you need to help you. And you're never going to lose. you're always going to be someone in recovery. You're never going to not be that person. Um, it's for life. But that was the missing piece. When I got into this program, I was going 4 times a week. That was their version of IOP. I was in a group. It's all women. Um, and what they do was so completely different. And I felt that on the first day.
Mm.
Very first day, I was like, this is different.
And they
Um,
also have a residential program as well,
they
just
do
to
for
mention that. So,
mothers with young babies, infants to young children, where the
mhm.
children can stay with them. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Um, they do it. And then
Most
they
of them
have,
were inpatient, right? Though I think it was like
yes.
you and maybe one other person who were outpatient.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like one of two outpatients that were there. So everybody else was inpatient.
Hmm.
And then, you go from one house to the next house and where it's looser and you graduate up to different, but there's a lot of housing opportunities for them there. So I don't know as much about that end of the program. That's where, when you speak to some of
Dr.
the,
Holly. Yeah.
yeah, the people I've
Yeah.
recommended.
We are
Um,
going to do hopefully one or two
yeah,
episodes with a couple of the doctors or
Cool.
therapists from
yes. And
AWRC. Yeah. Cool.
and what they'll speak to is so much more than I could say, but this
Yeah.
program is completely different and nobody does it.
Hmm.
Nobody follows this model. And
Why
I
not
just,
is
I
kind
know,
of my
I don't,
question.
And if it's a new
right.
thing, it needs to, gather the
Yeah.
data to
And
show everybody that it works,
they're
kind of thing.
not new. They've been around for,
Oh,
I don't know how long, but they're not a new program.
oh,
They've
okay.
been around, but nobody does this.
Mm.
And they do the medical side of things where you can get your meds and they have psychiatrists, they offer therapy, they do the whole like spectrum of things, but they do it in a different way than anybody else is doing it. Um, and I believe that is one of the absolute most integral pieces to where I'm at today at my almost 5 months. I feel great. I look forward to going to my groups every week. I've graduated from the IOP to their SOP, which is a mindfulness group where it's just me and a couple other ladies and the facilitator, which one is Dr. Holly, the other is JoJo, where we meet twice a week. We do meditation. We dig deep
Oh,
into,
I didn't know you were doing meditation.
oh,
It's
yeah,
everywhere.
It is
breathing
everywhere.
techniques. I know
Oh,
when I
It's
saw
coming
you
up in
guys
every
do,
episode.
I got to bring you
yep,
to my, yeah, I'll talk to you
yeah.
later. But yeah,
Yeah.
you got to do liquid breath work with me
Ryan and
and
Shelby
Jeremy.
coming up.
We
Yeah.
would love it.
And we've learned some breath work, but we've done it very minimally, but I know they can go deeper into it. That's Dr. Holly. So
Oh, okay.
she does that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, it's because it's literally like me and four other women in this group. And because it's so small, you always feel like you're getting one-on-one attention, even in the SOP group, which was a larger. You walk in the front doors and people know your name and you get greeted with hugs and it's just the most welcoming place. They know you. You just feel, I will say this, and I can't say this about pretty much anything else that I've done, but they genuinely love the women that they're helping. They
Mm.
love the children of the women that they're helping. They are excited to see you succeed. And most of the staff there are recovering addicts, many of which have actually graduated their program, AWRC's program. There's a lot of people there that work there that have gone through the whole treatment.
I'm
Um,
so glad that Judy brought you in. Judy, right? It was Judy from
uh, um, you're, oh
I'm
my
saying the wrong
gosh,
name.
I'm totally blanking because I'm
That
uh
amazing woman who suggested this program, who
Julie.
graduated.
Julie,
Julie, I
Julie.
was close. Okay, Julie. I'm glad that
Julie's the
Julie,
one
yeah,
because she was a graduate from it.
I'm glad that
And
she brought
she's
you
like,
into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was that phone call where she was like, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what to do with you. And then she's
And then
like,
it was
wait,
like the light bulb went off and she
the
was
light
like,
bulb
wait a
went off.
second.
Yeah. And she's like, this is going to be harder for you to do because it's in downtown Phoenix and, you'll have to drive. The expectations are more as far as attendance and um, things like that. But yeah, it was, I didn't have a car at that time because mom was here. We eventually backtrack, we got Liam out of the group home, but
That's right.
the deal was mom had to live here
Yeah.
and she became the CPC, which is the child's physical custody guardian.
She
So
was there for
mom,
like 3 months.
yeah, I wasn't allowed to be alone with Liam.
No, and she
So
came back with him a couple times and they
yeah,
stayed. That was,
yeah, I wasn't allowed to be with my own child. And
yeah.
that sucks. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's something to be ashamed of. I didn't tell people this. I kind of isolated myself from everybody except for guys because I just couldn't. I couldn't do friends at the time. I couldn't, I couldn't do any of that. I just was working on me and working on being the mom that I know I am and could get back to being, but better. So yeah, I wasn't allowed to be with Liam the whole time I've been well, not the whole time I've been attending this program, but um, yeah. So
A good chunk of time though. Yeah.
yeah, but I've been in this program for just over 5 months and have met some amazing people. Every staff that I have met there, I'm like, oh my God, they're awesome. I love them. And they're all different. They all do different things. They all help you in different ways, but it's both pieces. And you really need to work on that mental health piece in order to help the addiction piece. That comes before the addiction, but
Mm,
that's what is missing in everything else.
it's so
Um,
crazy.
Yeah, a
it
lot
is
of rehabs
crazy.
just they want to give you other drugs to get you off the drugs you're on, and
Yeah,
that's
that's a
not
lot of it
really
too.
a solve.
Yes,
It's not really a solve.
absolutely. Um, so yeah, when I was in rehab, there were girls that were on what is that? There's
Methadone.
Suboxone and methadone.
Hmm.
And one of the girls flat out said, I'm here getting high
Yeah,
because
methadone's just
I can
stronger
legally
heroin.
do it.
Yeah, they
And
give you doses. Ira,
Yeah,
they
my
were
Ira, he was on
literally
methadone for
like
years.
yeah.
mouth
It's
hanging
you may as well just do
open,
heroin.
drooling. Like, how
It's
is that
awful.
helping somebody?
It's not.
What is that doing? That's just
It's awful.
giving them that high, but in a legal way. I mean, she was
Right.
right. So,
Hmm.
but anyway, I luckily I didn't have to do any of that because I hadn't done cocaine since God, probably 2 years before Liam was born. So I had gotten off of that myself. I just stopped cold turkey. I had the crap scared out of me, which
I,
made me stop.
I was actually going to ask about that because we kind of
Yeah,
jumped the timeline where you were in the party
yeah,
scene in Scottsdale with all these more illicit kind of drugs, and then it jumped
yeah,
forward to the alcohol.
yeah.
But I was going to actually ask how, like, what happened in between those things because it seemed like you were on one road of addiction, but then all of
Right.
a sudden you were on another one. I was
Yes.
going to ask if it was the getting pregnant that got you off of it, but you said it was 2 years before, Liam.
Oh,
So,
well,
I
and it
mean,
maybe
what was your
was
process there? How did you go about actually getting out of the addiction the first time?
so the deeper I got in that scene and the more shady people I was hanging out with, the dealers, and I had a dealer living in my home. He didn't pay rent, he paid me in coke. So
Oof.
things like that. And the deeper I got, the worse the scene got for me. And I was bouncing around. I lost my home. I
She lived with
um
me for a little
I
while and then
lived
I
with you
I kicked
until
her
you
out.
guys kicked me out.
And
I
moved her.
was found
Kicked
another
her out,
place.
then helped her move into the new place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found another place to live and pay
That place was
rent.
not good.
No, I was in one of the worst neighborhoods you could be.
Yeah, that
It
place
was
was
known for their gang dealings and all that.
bad.
So, I was there. I don't even know how long. Still doing the thing. Next thing you knew, I was selling it. I had
Mm.
half a key in my possession one time and was selling it, uh, or trying to sell it. I ended up doing most of it and getting in trouble with the guy who gave it to me to sell.
That's a lot of
'Cause,
coke.
yeah, they front you. They front
Yeah, I
you,
bet
which
they
is
do.
they give you the drug and then you sell it and then you pay them back. And yeah, so I got
So you,
messed up. Go
yeah, you
ahead.
finally got out of that. So then,
I got out of it, and this is how I got out of it. I was kind of couch hopping.
uh-huh.
I had a place to live, but I was hanging out and partying with my friends, and going from the club, you go back and after party and blah blah blah. Well, one of the places I was staying at, where one the dealers lived, I was sleeping on their couch almost every single night. And this one day, that's when, oh, because I got kicked out of the place I was renting in the bad neighborhood. That
Mhm.
one day, I ended up moving back into dad's. The
Oh,
day I
yeah,
was, yes,
that's
the
right.
day I was moving was the day that house where I was staying got raided. It had been under surveillance. They had undercovers were across the street in one of the townhomes across the street, watching the guy that I was driving around and depositing money for. That one day I wasn't there.
Oh,
And
and you just
everybody had got,
disappeared.
I had disappeared and I had heard what happened. Everybody got arrested.
Oh,
And that
shit.
was in the house.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever told me this story.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I wasn't there. So that scared the shit out of me.
Uh,
Excuse my language, but
And you
I
lost your
was,
connection.
my
Like you
car
lost
was
your
always there.
source. You lost everything
Yeah.
there.
Well, I had other sources and I,
No.
I ended up going on with them, but, um, I was afraid the cops were looking for me. Nobody knew where dad lived.
mm,
Nobody knew his name. My car had always been parked out front of this house that got raided. So I'm like, oh, they got my license plate number. They're going to find me. I'm going to get arrested. Every time somebody came to the freaking door, I was like, it's going to be the cops. It's going to be
uh,
the cops. And that's how I was living for probably a good month of living at dad's. I was
uh-huh.
still partying. I wasn't even partying at that point. I was just buying stuff and staying in the bedroom by myself and doing it. And um, I don't know if dad knew or not. He never, he never said anything about
Never said
that.
anything to me.
No, I don't, but he was probably too drunk to know the difference. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so eventually another friend got not raided, but got arrested for dealing who I was buying from. So I'm like, okay,
So
this
the
is
cards were falling.
this is
Yeah.
this is too many. You're getting lucky. This is like the cat with nine lives. My
Yeah.
lives are running out, so I gotta change things up. And that's when I met Liam's dad, and um, that ended up not being a great situation, but that's a whole nother. I can do a whole thing on blended families now.
Yeah,
So
we'll
if
we'll
you ever
we'll
do
bring you
a
back for another episode
yeah,
that maybe
that's
talks
another
more about
episode.
that because
But yeah,
so
that's
fast
how
forward,
I
so you got out Liam, blah blah blah, we're there, and then you fell into the drinking addiction at
yes.
some point later on, obviously,
Yeah,
because of all of this other stuff that kind of started.
right.
Sorry,
It
just
was
trying to
a
bring it full circle here.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, no, I know. That's my life was crazy.
yeah,
It's been crazy. Like the past 20 years have been crazy. I have
yeah.
done
Yeah.
crazy things. I have seen and heard. I have, you name it, I probably have done it.
There's
Um,
been some good points though. I mean, like
there
I
have,
even think about like when Zane was born and
yeah.
you lived down the road from me and you had Liam and she took care of Zane.
I was
She would
sober
take in
then.
Yeah, she was sober and life was
Yeah, I
good
ended
and
up doing daycare for you and had staying at
yeah,
my house 5 days a
and
week. And
and at UCP and that was like a
yeah,
really, really
yeah,
good time. And
yeah,
then we
I
moved
was
up to
good
Flag,
then.
but yeah.
But I mean, it was while I was working at UCP is when I started drinking wine every night, my boxed wine every night.
Yes,
But
you would ever
and
anytime you come up to Flagstaff, she would have her box of wine. And
I would bring it with me.
I mean, I like to drink wine too, but man, I saw you throw back a couple times. I was
Yeah,
like, damn, how'd she do that?
my tolerance got so freaking high, it was
Yeah,
insane.
and I didn't
So
think anything of it. Honestly, didn't even
I
think
know
anything of it at that point
I
because
didn't
I'm like,
either.
oh, well, we always sit around and have
Because it's
wine
just a box of wine.
when everyone comes
Yeah,
up.
It seems such
yeah,
an innocuous thing.
Yeah.
exactly. Didn't think
So,
anything of it. It was just what I did. And it just escalated and
mhm.
progressed over the years. And
And then you're
with,
not dealing with the stuff, right? That's
oh
ultimately
yeah,
causing it.
it's just
So,
building up because now I have the old stuff, the childhood trauma stuff, the all that stuff. And now you add Liam to the mix, dealing with all that stress, which, hey,
that's a
that's a
lot.
lot.
It's a
It's a
lot.
lot.
Liam's a lot.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And so it just progressed. And
Hmm.
even being when I met Dave, and he would every weekend I would come over, he'd have the box of wine waiting for me. Well, I already had like probably three, four during the week. Boxes, the big boxes.
Mm.
It was like that. And, but again, I didn't think it was a problem because I was still working. I was doing everything. Um, but eventually it became a problem. And I don't know what it was. I think it was around the time Liam had his brain surgery that
Mm,
I switched over to hard liquor, Fireball,
yeah.
That
Fireball.
could, yeah, that'll do it.
And I actually, to be honest with you, Megan, I actually didn't realize you were drinking that much. I didn't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I was up here, right? Like I wasn't there. I didn't
Because I
really
didn't do it in front of people.
no, I didn't notice it. And you were like pretty even
I
killed,
did
the
it
dude
at
who I talked
home.
to. So
I
I
did
had
it
no
at
no
home.
clue.
Yep.
Yeah.
I kept it, you know, I got good at lying. I got good at covering myself. I stopped going to events. It takes you out of living life.
Yeah.
It becomes the number one thing. It's like above all other things. And at one point, it finally became above Liam. It became
Hmm.
above my relationship with Dave. It became above me taking care of my pets. It kept me in a room by myself, never answering the phone. Um, it just, it became it. That was it. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to check out, numb out. And that's when I was failing. I was failing at everything. Um, and it literally took me out of life. Uh, I wasn't living anymore.
Hmm.
Dave eventually took the keys to my car and I would walk to the grocery store. I would walk drunk as hell, buying big bottles of vodka and putting them in a backpack. And at one point, like, before I started this program, before that, it was the last relapse that this stuff was happening. I was sitting on a bench at the bus stop drinking vodka.
When
Like,
it's 100 something degrees outside because you live in Phoenix.
I remember that. I
luckily, it
was
was
You got
like
to let
March,
people know
April,
that there's
so it
an
was
environment
cooler.
there.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember being on the phone with Dave and he was like,
Yeah. This
I'm
is
watching,
when
he was
all that was
watching
happening.
on the app. He was seeing where you were going. He's like, all right, she's in
Mhm.
Fry's. He's like, I can
Yep.
tell where she is in the store. He knew
Yep.
exactly that you were going to the liquor. He was like literally tracking you
Wow.
and telling me like, all right, and here she is now. I think she's probably sitting on the side of the road right now. And apparently
And
you were.
that became Dave's life too, which sucks
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Dave, um, just a little thing on Dave, his second wife, she passed away. She literally drowned in a bathtub,
Yeah.
being high on pills and alcohol. She was a major drunk.
So he's been through
And
this.
yeah, so to put Dave through that again and to become that person he loved, um, and him having to watch that all over again, it became his life tracking where I was. taking
I
care
think
of
Dave
Liam
might
when
be a
I was
saint.
cast. Yeah.
Like, I don't
Um,
know this guy, but like, he sounds like a saint.
yeah, yeah. He he is everything. So everything good. Um,
So
but
I'm just checking time here, Megan, and I know that you need to pick up Liam. So
oh
um
gosh.
yeah, yeah. She just pick up Liam because she's a
Yeah.
Can I ask one more
responsible
quick
mom.
question?
Yeah, let's just start to like wrap things up because I want to
Yeah,
give her a
no, go
chance to
ahead.
we're gonna celebrate something too. So
Oh
You've
yeah.
talked about how the program you're in now that's actually working, unlike all the other ones you tried, is different in their approach. But
Yes.
was your approach different going in? Did you actually want to go in this time? Or
Yes,
like, was your
because
mentality different?
this last relapse, I made all the phone calls. I actually asked for help.
There
I
you go.
called everybody on my professional team and I said, I have to stop. I need help, which I'd never
There you
done
go.
before.
See,
And
that I think is the
that's what
key.
makes a difference too. When
yeah.
you want it,
Right.
being forced into it takes that out of it. But when you want it, you have to want it to succeed.
Right.
And this is going to be something I live with forever. It's always something I'm going to have to be mindful of. And I've learned a lot of coping skills I'm actually using now. Communication, it's changed so many aspects of my life, and being my self awareness is huge. Uh, just noticing what I'm feeling and what I need to do,
Mm.
when to ask for help. And um, yeah, I haven't been triggered. I haven't had a single episode since I started this program where I felt like, oh man, I really wish I could have a drink. Nothing. And that may come. I have to be mindful of that. Holidays, I have to be mindful of that because I don't want to put a damper on everybody else's, but I know
Mm.
it's fun for everyone. But you guys are all normies. That's what we call them.
Normies.
Normies. That's the term.
Okay.
People
I call
that
people that
can,
all the time.
yeah. So that's the term we use. And
Yeah.
I have to, Dave and I have had to do that, or I like, I don't think I should go. And I don't do that to piss anybody off or make anyone sad. I'm doing that to protect myself.
Yeah.
Um, so if that ever happens, that's why. And I'll try to communicate that. I'll try to say that. I don't think it's a good idea. So,
But that's good to have that kind of self-awareness and like
yeah,
and self-control,
That's
right?
huge. Yeah.
That, I mean, what a
exactly.
huge step. I mean, that's
Yeah,
massively different than
yeah.
6 months
That's
ago.
how you overcome addiction right there.
Yeah.
Going to the grocery store became a thing. I couldn't shop by myself because just seeing the bottles, and grocery stores are awful because it's everywhere in the store.
Can I just
Every
say,
and holidays, oh my God, it's like, everywhere. So that was something I had to do
Oh
where
gosh,
I
you
I,
like
wasn't a,
hyper awareness about
I
it
won't
too.
drop the name of the place, but the grocery store I go to grab lunch a lot. I go to the
mhm.
self checkout, and as you stand in line at the self checkout, there's this big turnstile type
Oh,
thing
every
with
store has them
shooters,
now.
little shooters of booze, every kind of
I
booze that
bought,
comes in a shooter.
oh
I
yeah,
mean, there's
everything.
thousands of little shooters of
Yeah.
booze just on this little turnstile.
Wow.
Like
Almost
they
every
put the
grocery
candy
store
bars
has
by the
that.
register for the kids. They now
Yeah.
put booze there.
I don't
Yeah.
shop where you shop.
Booze.
Clearly.
It's Safeway.
At Safeway?
All the big
Safeway.
grocery fries, bashes, all
Oh,
of it.
Like it's the grocery store. It's
Yeah.
not a ghetto place. It is a primary
Yeah.
shopping spot
I
for
could
everyone in
I
Flagstaff.
haven't noticed that. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Fry's is doing it now too.
Will be.
Oh,
Bash's
they
has
are.
booze right by the checkout. Like
Yeah.
they're pushing booze at the
Multiples.
grocery store now.
Hmm.
And I
They're
literally
all
look at
like,
that
yeah.
and I'm like, are you like they're trying to get people to spontaneously buy booze that they weren't planning on
Yeah.
buying. That
I did I did
it's worse than the candy bar.
I did read something recently. I might have to share this article in the show notes, Jeremy. That the percentage of people out drinking alcohol though these days is actually dropped pretty
Mhm.
significantly, which is great.
The next generation doesn't drink.
Yeah, they don't. It's not as
Right.
important. It's something like I don't even want to call the stats out, but anyway, we'll put it in there because I think that's like a good reference to show
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
desire is going down. Now you're gonna obviously you're you're battling you're in recovery, right? Like
I'm a
forever.
person in recovery. That's what we say.
A person in
And that's for
recovery.
life.
Hmm.
It's for
It's like
life.
a big old scar on your brain.
Yeah.
It's, you
Well,
get the
they
big scar on
refer,
your face. People know you were
yeah.
injured. You can't see this scar, but it's a scar that you got to carry around. Yeah.
Well, and addiction is referred to as a disease, and
Hmm.
it's treated as such. It's something you have forever. Um, but it's different, but it's the same. So it's just something I always have to be aware of. I always have to protect myself. And that's, I've had times where I've told Dave, like for the longest time, he didn't bring anything in the house. We have a toolbox with a lock on it. So if he does have anything, I'm okay with him having a drink, whatever. That's fine. But he has to keep the bottles locked up so I don't see them. And that's it, one
That's
bottle.
fair.
We don't have the bar anymore, which we used to have. We don't have any of that. So
That's a good
our
point.
household has had to change. Everybody's had to adapt.
Hmm.
So yeah, to protect me and because he loves me. Liam
Yeah.
tells me he's proud of me all the time. Mom, you're beautiful. I'm so proud of you. He just says it on his own. And
Yeah.
that's
And
because he
That's
knew.
awesome.
he
That's
was
He would
awesome.
honest
call me a
about his
drunk.
feeling over the, yeah, he really was.
He
He
would
was
call me a
very,
drunk.
yeah. Yeah. So this is,
So yeah,
everyone's
but
happy. We're all very proud of you, Megan.
You need the
yes,
truth to heal, man. It
Yeah.
hurts, but
yes.
you need the truth to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just checking time because I don't want you to be late. But
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I want to celebrate. You texted me before we got on, and Megan has some really great news to share. And I have celebratory things here.
You can't bring out that
Yeah,
cowbell again.
I'm ready.
yep.
What is
So
it?
just this morning, I got an email from my attorney saying my case was dismissed.
Hey.
So everything is closed out. DCS, uh, I guess testing, yes, all that. It's
How
all
obnoxious is
closed.
that?
I have full legal guardianship of Liam again.
Nice.
So that's of today, as of today.
So
So
exciting.
yes, that was
Yep.
big.
That's a big
But
deal.
gonna
Yep.
have to do
Hence,
happy dance, happy
hence
dance.
more
So
cowbell.
cowbell.
More.
Good.
I don't hear it ringing.
Oh, you don't hear that?
No.
Zoom might be filtering it out.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe.
that's,
Yeah.
well, I got pom
That's
poms.
weird. There you go. Pom poms. Yep.
Okay. That's
So
enough
that
of
was
Heather
huge.
with her pom poms. No, this is amazing. I'm so proud of you, Megan. And I have watched you
I'm
very,
proud
very,
of me.
I have been very close to this,
Yeah.
from the
Oh, I know.
beginning and seen everything that she's gone through. And it's been hard.
Yeah.
There's been some times where I thought, oh my God, this
I
is it,
know.
you
I
know?
know.
So to see you 5 months out in this program, which has been amazing for you. Like we're just, I think everyone is just, we're grateful that
Yes.
it didn't
I know.
end
I'm
in
happy
a different
that
way.
I've
And we'll put
lifted that
links.
from, yeah, it was hard. That's one of the biggest things to know how much I hurt everybody in this. But I also have to be able to not dwell on that. I have to,
Yeah.
what fixes it is my success in sobriety.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yep.
but
It's like
Yep.
a whole new world and chapter in you. So,
And I'll put links to all these places we were talking about, the
yeah,
AWRC and things like that. I'll put all
great,
that in the show notes for anyone
great.
who
and
is interested.
our plan is to bring hopefully Dr. Holly, maybe JoJo
Yeah,
on from AWRC, and then maybe we can do a roundtable and bring
Mm.
you all back together, which would be really
oh,
cool.
I do like the
that would be
roundtables.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
That
first I
might
want to
be a 2 hour episode.
It could happen.
Yep,
Two-parter.
we can do
yeah,
Have we
two-parters.
done a two-parter? Oh, we did with Latham Thomas.
We
That was
have.
our first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, do you want to leave anyone who's hearing this with any advice or words of wisdom before we close
yeah,
out here?
sure. Don't be ashamed if you know you're having this problem, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever. Talk to somebody. There's so many people, there's so many agencies out there that are there to help you. And it's taking that first step is the hardest step. It's the absolute hardest step. And but if you want it, you can have this. You can you can have sobriety and you can get back to living, because you're not living if that's what you're doing. Life, they call it the pink cloud in AA. There's the pink cloud, and I'm in the pink cloud, fluffing it up and doing all that. So you can have this and you'll feel wonderful. You'll just, everybody will look at you and see you. You're the toughest person. Nobody can do this for you. You have to do it for yourself.
Hmm.
So that's probably the main thing.
And find something
Have
like AWRC, right? Because for
Yeah,
you, that
and
was kind of
yeah,
the
and
thing.
there's great programs out there. There's
Hmm.
a lot, and go to an AA group. You can walk in, you're going to be greeted with love.
Hmm.
You
And
can,
you
and
still
you're
attend AA meetings, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So, not as much, but I get more from this program right now. But
Hmm.
I think when I'm done, then I'll make it a point to attend even more meetings. So, yeah, I do. There's virtual meetings. If you didn't know that, there's virtual meetings.
Hmm.
You don't have to go in person. You can just get on, you search AA in my area, and there's a
We
ton
should
of
include that in
online.
the show notes as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I can. I'll send you the information for local, but
Okay.
yeah. There's so much out there that's there to help, and there's no shame. You will not be judged for this. Just take that first step.
There you go.
So,
All right, Megan, thanks for coming on and being
thanks for
so
having me.
honest and vulnerable. This is not easy to do. So
No, it's not.
to
This is
share
the
that
first
with
time I've
you.
done shared
Yeah.
publicly in any
Yeah.
public forum. So this is a big deal, and a lot of people want to listen to it. They're like
I
so excited.
I think there's gonna be
So
a lot of people that are gonna appreciate this because, like I said at the beginning, if it's not you, you know somebody.
yes,
You know
absolutely.
someone's per you
Yes.
know, that are going through
Yep.
this,
It's
whether
very
they're
prevalent.
5 months into their sobriety or 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
anyway, thank you,
Anyway,
Megan.
you're welcome. Thank you both for having me. It's been healing.
Good.
Good. And
It's been
hopefully it
healing.
helps people out there as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
And there you go. Our conversation with Megan Marshall about addiction and recovery, I guess, is pretty much the whole point of the thing. But what's the main takeaways here, Heather?
Well, obviously interviewing my own sister might be a little awkward and uncomfortable, especially based on where some of her root issues come from. I'm part of that story. I mean, it wasn't my fault, but
Isn't
I was
family
there.
fun?
Yeah. But, I mean, I knew what she was going to say, so I wasn't surprised by it. And
Sure.
and I mean, does it still feel kind of crappy to hear her say it out loud? Yeah, it totally does. Like that definitely affects me. And having been pretty close with my sister most of our lives anyway. Aside from those couple years in I don't know, middle high school where we
I
hated
mean,
each other.
that's not crazy. I mean, teenagers are crazy by definition. Like the chemistry in your brain when you're that age does not allow you to be sane.
Yeah, like
It's just something we all have to go through.
I look at my boys now. I mean, they have almost 5 years apart, 5 years between them, but like they aren't like, oh, I love hanging out with you, brother. Like, there's
Yeah.
definitely not. I keep telling them when they're older, they're gonna definitely want to hang out more. But yeah, like despite those ups and downs, nothing abnormal. But yeah, having sat in the passenger seat or the back seat in Megan's life and watching her go through a lot of this stuff, being the one who shows up and helps her, being the one who bails her out a lot of the time.
Hmm.
It's been really hard for me as her sister to watch her go through that and feeling pretty helpless.
Yeah, sure.
So that's a little unusual, but I'm also like here to cheer her on, and I've always
I'm sure there's that element where you have the duality of you get annoyed that you have to help her so much, but wish there was a way you could help her more all at the same time. 'Cause
Totally.
that's the sort of thing that family does to you
Yeah.
emotionally.
Yeah.
That's what, it's just a swirl of emotion that you can't control at some points.
Which for her, like going through all of this, and seeing all the things that didn't help, right? And for so long and just hoping the next thing would help, and then
Yeah.
and it didn't. And she recognized that. And then so finding Arizona Women's Recovery Center has been a game changer for her. So
And finding the desire within herself to really actually
yes.
want to get sober.
Right. And not find the Band-Aid and,
Yeah.
to fix it and really, really kind of dig into it.
You can't fix yourself until you want to be fixed.
Right.
That's a universal rule with people. Like, no matter how much other people are trying to help you, and no matter what steps you're taking, if you don't really believe in it and you're not really wanting to solve the problem, it's not going to get solved.
Yeah.
That's the biggest piece of the puzzle right there.
So it's been a huge relief for me and my family to see her go through this, finally, to find something. And it's been an even bigger relief to see her just a completely different person.
Yeah.
And just the acknowledging, like she wouldn't talk about it for a long, she just didn't talk about it. Like it didn't exist.
Right.
And for her to be acknowledging it, talking about it so openly, coming on the show, like that's huge. And to do that with me, like.
Yeah, it's like facing your monsters. Facing your own demons.
Yeah. But she's, coming up on 6 months. Actually, I think
by the time this comes out, it probably will be 6 months.
No, it'll be a few days later, but
Okay.
really close. Yep.
Okay.
So this episode's going to publish just a few days before her 6 month
there you go.
mark of being sober. And so that's really exciting. So we'll, bells and whistles and the, all the things.
Little inspiration for everyone else trying to do the same thing out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So if she can do it, you can do it. So, just got to find the right program.
You got to want it.
And you got to want it.
You got to want it.
So
you got to really, really want it. That's how I quit smoking cigarettes. It's like that with any addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I smoked cigarettes for 30 years. I tried quitting half a dozen times, but it was only once I really, really wanted. Like those other times, I was like, "Yeah, I want to quit," but I didn't have the really deep desire to really not want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I finally hit that point where it's like I can't, like, I'm gonna die if I don't stop doing this. Like I could feel the COPD setting in. Like I got out just in time, and now I feel so much better. My lungs feel better. And once you do it, you go, man, I wish I could have done that earlier.
Right.
But
I definitely have never met anyone that has stopped drinking and has been sober and says, gosh, I wish I had never stopped doing that.
Exactly.
Like they're
exactly
thrilled. And
it's the best thing you ever did. Once you do it, it's the best thing you ever did.
Mostly regretful that they hadn't done it sooner.
Right.
Right.
That's the only regret, is I wish I would have quit sooner. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, there you go.
That's what I got.
If you like what you hear and you want to keep up with us here on the Healthcare Uprising, we're going to have more and more of these personal stories, I believe, as we move forward. At least that's the plan. So if you like this kind of episode, make sure you hit that auto download button or ring the bell or whatever it is on the platform you're on, so that you can catch all the episodes as they come out. We are on YouTube. We are on all the major listening platforms. We got a Patreon, patreon.com/Healthcare Uprising, if you want to throw us a little bit of monetary support. Patreon, YouTube is full video, so you can see us. Well, you can watch us instead of just listen to us if you prefer. I think that's all for me. What about for you, Heather?
Well, you can find us online at healthcareuprising.com, which is basically our Podbean website. So more to come on that. I know I say that at the end of every single show. I'm going to work on that.
We finally are making real major plans for a real website. So stand by.
It's coming, I promise. So you can't go online, but mostly follow us on social media, like us, follow whatever the thing you have to do is, because we are on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. So we post out there. Anytime we have episodes that drop, we like to reshare stories. We like to share relevant stories around topics that we cover. So it's a great place to stay in the know as well, on anything healthcare related. And if you have a story, if you're a company who focuses on supporting and delivering services in healthcare space to consumers, because side note, we are starting to make a bit of a very intentful shift to focus the show completely on consumer focused products, programs, services, subscriptions, all the things that help all of us real people out on the street. Give us a shout at healthcareuprising@gmail.com. We'd love to bring you on the show and talk about what you're doing or whatever your story is. So with that, I think that's all I got, Jeremy.
I think that was enough.
So keep looking for the good in the world. Sometimes it's where you least expect it.
This has been a Shut Up production.